Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Comics Newswire. This one's going to be a FOXY one. We're going to get into all that and what it means. Welcome to the Comics Newswire, our last newswire of the year, not the year, August. It's the last one of August. It's August. Baird says goodbye. Wow, I'm tripping over my words. It's going to be a great news program. No, I'm kidding. I'll get it together, I promise. All right, so this is the Comics Newswire, and we're going to be bringing you all the news coming off of week 35 of 2022 as we say goodbye to August. There we go. I got it. And this week's theme is Wolf and Fox. It's about a divorced duo forced to co-parent the city they both love. When a relationship sours, a heroics duo must work past their mutual past trauma in therapy to learn how to protect the city of Jax together. It's all about love here and learning how to work together. You find that at wolfandfox.com. That's wolf, letter N, fox.com. I hope you guys all had a great August. I'm just going to move our TikTok audience back just a little bit so they can see the screen a little better. There we go. Just getting us to the next article. All right, here's the BACKERPAUSE this week. You guys can check out everything that was on BACKERPAUSE simply by going to BACKERPAUSE.com, and we're going to give you guys a look at all the stuff that is last call crowdfunding, meaning these are about to end on the project, and it's all or nothing right now with only hours left. This ends Wednesday, August 31st at 1:13 p.m. So check it out. It's Rio Cheeks, Ted Lasso spaghetti western. A bride heads west to her groom, but varmints waylay her coach, and so Miss Cheeks comes to Aurora. I think that's an awesome pitch. I wish I knew how to pronounce some of those words, but it sounds fun. Get to Kickstarter now if you're watching this. Before time is too late. Same thing. Ends Thursday, September 1st for Geek Girl. I almost missed this myself. Thank goodness there were 31 days. So check out Geek Girl now on Kickstarter and get her new and all past issues. You can find all this at BACKERPAUSE.com. All right, let's get into the news. Coming from Comic Book Resources. Oh no, Hydra secretly infiltrated the Hellfire Gala in the 2 new X-Men titles. Say what? Check out Comic Book Resources for more. Always been a big fan of Sabretooth and the way that I hate him because I'm a huge Wolverine fan. And I'm glad to see he's back to villainy because he made one hell of a villain. Coming from Comic Book Resources tells us about the longtime X-Men villain Sabretooth getting his brand new limited series starring a team of supervillains. All right, here we go. Comic Book Resources say that 2 mediums are going to collide in Harley Quinn, the animated series, as the real sidekicks of New Gotham Special Number 1. For more information on this, check out Comic Book Resources on Twitter or at their main site. From Mike Seeley, some dope art for Wolf and Fox. This is Wolf himself. Mike Seeley, of course, did the first couple pages launching this series. And Sergio takes over and takes the baton and brings it home for issue number 1, which will be on Kickstarter on October 4th. Go to wolf, letter N, fox.com for more information. Subscribe for day 1 specials. A major Superman villain was killed off by who? In the shocking conclusion to DC's War World saga. Oh, man, that's coming from Comic Book Resources. Just when you thought it was safe to go back to shopping, U.S. freight rail crisis threatens more supply chain chaos. Oh, my. That will affect possibly Kickstarters and paper and all that. Coming off of Comic Book Resources, Apple's MonsterVerse series shares the first cryptic image from the upcoming Godzilla show. I'm in. That would make me subscribe to Apple if I wasn't already subscribed. All right, after Labor Day weekend, we will begin the Fandom Bubble Awards with the first one. The good news is You can still vote. I'm going to keep voting open on these in case there's something that comes from behind. The bad news is that if you don't vote, your voice will never be heard. So join the Fandom Bubble Awards right now on Meta to make your voice be heard. Also, nominations for the regular awards that we have now known as the COMiX Award and the Independent Creator Award itself begins on Black Friday. Turns out we're going back to the moon, says NASA, and they're going to try to launch this huge rocket on September 3rd. Artemis #1, Liam Jax will be watching TV as he's suddenly become obsessed with space. As a matter of fact, today we're off to the manga. It's like a science museum here in Fort Myers, and it's pretty cool. And he loves looking at the space stuff. So if you're around on September 3rd, see the future blast off. No big surprise here that The Walking Dead is going to preview the last couple episodes of Walking Dead. It's been big at New York Comic Con. If you're going to New York Comic Con, try to find out how you can get actually in the room right now, as I'm sure this is going to be one of the biggest events in New York Comic Con history. Rick and Morty Season 6 takes the series to a whole new level, says someone on Twitter. The cool thing about this, and this is coming from anime on comicbook.com, the thing that I think is awesome about this is I hear a lot of energy that has come off of the reviews of this. It seems like Rick and Morty has found, I don't want to say a second wind, but they definitely have found a new gear. Let's put it that way. This is brought to us again by anime on comicbook.com. I'm not sure the Rick and Morty is anime, but it is what it is. Following some speculation regarding The Bad Batch, it turns out their new premiere date is September 28th, so you don't have much more to wait for the Season 2 coming from Comic Book Resources. The official poster for D23 is here, and it's stuffed with references to Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, and more, and this is going to be huge. We're going to be talking about D23 news. Thank you, Comic Book Resources, for sharing this image with us. If you're a parent looking for a wholesome actual show to your child, I really suggest The Loud House. It's on Nickelodeon. It has been amazing. It teaches morals, especially at the second season. I really loved how it kicked up into a high gear. This is a great show, and I'm sharing it on this program because of how much I think it's worth checking out with your child today. All right, I just got to change this around for 1 second. Please bear with me. I just have to readjust TikTok screen because we're going to make this a TikTok, so I think this one's important. Starting now, we're going to start doing a headline and a top story. And this week, we're going to talk about the downtown Fort Myers Art Walk that happens on the first Friday of every month. And this is brought to us, by the way, by the Fort Myers River District. And we're going to tell you all about it. It tells you the history of Fort Myers and how important it is and what they do. You can find out more by going to myriverddistrict.com/about-us/. And they have some great goals, and this is something awesome. And I wanted to make our main story today because I think it's so important that communities do something like this because art can inspire an entire community. And I want to thank everyone on the officers, their boards for doing it. And of course, I will be at the Art Walk this weekend. That's right. This Friday, I'll be there. You can see there right there. I'm going to be there talking to people, meeting people. There's nothing like connecting with your local community and talking about art. For me, it's about talking about comic books. It's about awareness. It's about bringing a community together, and art can inspire so many people. So join me on September 2nd in Fort Myers, Florida. And apparently I need an editor even on Twitter. And I will be there for the entire Art Walk, 6 to 10 p.m., weather permitting. If it's raining, because it's Florida and it's that time of year, don't bother coming down. But if it's not raining, come check me out, downtown Fort Myers Art Walk. And bring your kids and let your kids be inspired by all of the art that they see. We got some news from Pietro here, and he's talking about a launch time for his brand new actual Kickstarter. What does all this mean? Well, you're going to have to go to the Comics News Wire and find out more about his designated stream tour and what that's all about. So go to comicsnewswire.com, week 35. All right, I'm just going to readjust the TikTok a little bit again so it gets bigger. Okay, here we are. We're back to it. DC Comics delivers an anthology of back-to-school tales for the 5th week of August. Check out the full review of DC Saved by the Bell coming off of comicbook.com on Twitter. Star Wars versus Gremlins, Gizmo and Grogu, Baby Yoda clash in this awesome fan art by the invincible artist Ryan O'Teal. And this is from Comic Book Resources. I put this up because I want to say that fan art has gotten to the point where everyone celebrates it, and it has just become part of our society. I once famously said that fan art was theft, but it can only be theft if the people who own the IPs actually care to enforce it. And it seems like they're allowing some artists show off some great crossover stuff, and this is pretty awesome, and I appreciate it. So check out some cool fan art. As a matter of fact, we have some more for you on the Comics News Wire, week 35 this week, celebrating fan art. My main man, Sebastian Bonnet, has new stuff for his Patreon. It's a sneak peek of the characters appearing in Chapter 2. Also a sneak peek for the one the panels are currently working on. This is Sneak Bonnet Studios on Patreon. So go to Patreon today and check out my man, Sebastian Bonnet. Might be Bonnet. I always forget. He said, don't worry about how I say it. As long as he says his name, he's happy that he's being talked about. So he's a good guy. Check him out. Support him on Patreon today. Here we go. Thanos' latest return hides an unexpected, shocking Marvel secret. What could that be? Well, you're going to have to go to Comic Book Resources to find out. This one's pretty cool. Star Trek's Lower Deck actor Jack Quaid, I think I'm saying it right, reveals his dream to be in a live-action Star Wars project. But guess what? Here's some news for you guys. He's actually going to be in Star Trek. This guy is going to be a live-action Star Trek. It made the news. It was on Comic Book Resources as well as this story. He's actually going to be crossing over with the Picard show. No, I'm sorry, not Picard. He's crossing over with Strange New Worlds, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and he's actually going to be Boiler. Someone else is joining him. Go to Comic Book Resources to find out more. You'd also find it on our Twitter page, by the way, Comic Book Advocates. And the way you find us is at Comics Advocates. Max DeVille shares with us the upcoming cover for Ninja Bimbos and Zombies Deep Space issue number 2. Colors by Adam Rios. Rachel looking sexy as hell with her. Zombies surrounding her. Says Max, have you signed up to get notified for the Kickstarter campaign? If you haven't, now's the time. That's Ninja Bimbos vs. Zombies. Okay, this is big. This actual cover got me into She-Hulk. I was a huge X-Men fan. I thought this was hilarious. I actually owned the comic book. I might have had to throw it away during a flood. I had one day I'm going to sit down and go through all my comics because I had to throw away almost 200 comics. Talk about heartbreaking. But I sadly think that was the box that this is in. One day I'm going to get this book again. This was amazing. This made me fall in love with She-Hulk for certain. And this was her second series, and this came out in 1988. Vera Sam is so close to 100 with There's an Alien in My Toilet number 3. All right, Chihuahua, make sure to go to Kickstarter today and at least subscribe to be notified when it goes live and see what it's all about. We've been talking about it for weeks. Let's get them to 100. We talked about fan art earlier in the show today on the Comics News Wire. Here's some fan art of Transformers. I'm a huge Transformer fan. I actually had that Transformer. I had him. I didn't have Makeshift, though. Makeshift. This is some cool stuff. I'm a huge Autobot fan. This was really cool. He doesn't actually, Micromaster does not actually transform, apparently. But there's Snarl. I love Snarl. I love Stegosauruses. And that was Snarl and Beast Wars, which made no sense to me. But I love the fact that he showed all the different kind of fan art. Really cool. Check him out. This is from artist Andrew Sarhan. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, my man. But amazing art. Go follow this creator today. Time is almost up. This is not a drill. Go to geekgirlcomics.com to actually back Geek Girls and catch up on Mean Girls Meets Weirdness on Kickstarter. Some interesting news coming from the new owners of CW. They plan on extending the network beyond genre programming. This is coming from Comic Book Resources. I'll be honest, this is coming from Batman TAS, the animated Bat. I'm not sure if this is fan art or actual legit art because it looks so good. I wanted to share it with you guys. This is Catwoman mugshot by @EIB or EI Black Bat. Check it out on Twitter. From our main man, Matt Shore, he gives us a little promoting of horror, and Halloween is about to come. August is almost over, which means Halloween season's officially here. Get in, losers. We're getting spooky. Thank you for sharing this on the Twitter, my man. That's @TheMattShore on Twitter. Go tweet about it with him. Found on Twitter, this is from Justin Richards, who has no soul, only on Kickstarter. Everything is different now and is racing towards the finish line. He's got only hours to go, and he wants to get this funded. Check it out now. Everything different now on Kickstarter. Victor Dandridge says, if you're going back to school, go back to school with You Create Comics. He's based in Central Ohio, and this is a great way to teach your kid to be creative. We talked about an art walk, and this is so important right here. This helps with reading, writing, vocabulary building, arithmetic, critical analysis, decision-making, team building, visual art appreciation. Go right now to UCRE8comics.com. That's letter 8. Check it out. You won't be let down. It's the hardest working man in comics. There we go. Coming soon, Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Deep Space, issue number 2. And they're fighting through a post-apocalyptic New York City to find a mentor to train them in the ninja ways. One last look at this week's forecast for week 35, where we just talked about where the creators are going to be. I'm going to be at the Art Walk this Friday from 6 to 10 p.m. We know we have friends over here at Dragon Con. They didn't tell us who. I know that there's a bunch. I don't want to say names because I haven't seen it on my actual thing. I just go out there, guys. I appreciate you guys supporting creators. Check out Dragon Con if you're in the Atlanta area. It's an amazing event. I've been there a couple times, and it was really, really awesome. We're going to tell you about the extended forecast right now. Daytona Beach, which happens now in D-Land, don't ask me. It's going to be happening the 10th through the 11th. That's going to be the Comic-Con in Florida next week to go to. Annabelle, Virginia has another Sheeroff Productions non-sports card show going on the 11th next week. And then Arkansas Comic-Con, the 10th through the 11th, is happening at the State House Convention Center. And the Ottawa Comic-Con, tickets on sale now. It's going to happen September 9th through the 11th in Ottawa, Canada. And in Oregon will be the Rose City Comic-Con. It's their 10th year, and this is going to be happening at the Oregon Convention Center in Portland, Oregon. And that's it, guys. That's the end of the show. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to check out our meta group, the Comics Newswire Newsroom. And if you want to get us information, just send us an email at comicsnewswire@yahoo.com. And we want to thank Continuum Comics for making this show in part possible with their partnership with comicbookadvocates.com. And that's it, kids. Remember to be kind and share this thread, this video. And if you want to buy some awesome comics that I made, wearecomics.com is the place to go. All right. That's it. I got to run. I got to go get Jax, man. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you either on the ComixCon highway or on a crowdfunding platform soon. Make sure to back someone and become a comics advocate today.